What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so let me say this before I go into the video because I noticed a lot of you all sending this to me. The articles or the links which have a misleading description of what LeBron said. Now, look, we all know LeBron James is a complaining, whining biatch, right? We know this. But I do have to defend him here in this situation. I'm seeing some articles, and I'm seeing some postings saying that LeBron on the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, his new homie, they're saying that he was complaining that there should be a break, a month break in the season between the end of the playoffs and the playoffs so that they could prepare players and get physically prepared for the rigors of the postseason. Now, I got to be fair. I listened to what he said, and that's not what he said. What he actually said was he thinks that the NBA should bring in the changes, because he said there's a gradual change between the lack of physicality. There's an abrupt change between the lack of physicality in the regular season and the postseason. So he's proposing that the NBA introduces the playoff rules or the way they call the game in the playoffs, the last 10 to 15 games of regular season, so they can get adjusted to it. So it's not such a big dramatic change. He's still whining and complaining like a motherfucker, but that's what he basically said. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, here it is right here.
One thing is, like, the playoffs are always going to be more physical, but I think they're generally the last 10, 15 years, it's a big contrast from the regular season to the playoffs.
Yeah, the first thing I want to say to that is, like, if they're going to allow it to be as physical as it is, you got to give us a little time to prepare for it.
So, like, post All-Star break, something like that.
I mean, post All-Star break is usually like 30 games left, so maybe like maybe 12 to 15 games left in the regular season. Okay, a month.
Yeah.
Give us a month to prepare for it because it goes from 0 to 100. It goes from us to be able to body check. No body check, no hand checking, no pushing a guy off their spot, no rerouting guys at all.
Right.
For 8-9 months, and then or for 6.5, 7 months, and then
have at it.
2 months straight. Have at it.
Have at it.
Like straight up, just no holds barred, and it's fun.
Yeah, I don't think either of us have a problem with it.
We don't have a problem with it.
It's just a contrast.
It's just a contrast, of not being able to get into that flow. So yeah, it's definitely over the last like you said, 10, 15 years, the game, they've allowed us to do it.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I personally wish we could do it all year.
Yeah.
But also have the body makeup for it to do it all year too. So it wouldn't be beneficial to the product to do, run a marathon. I mean, run a sprint during a marathon.
Right.
LeBron James is such a disingenuous human being of just astronomical proportions. Isn't this the same dude that just complained, I think, on one of these podcasts, that if you look at the product of the 90s and early 2000s, he said that just wasn't a really good brand of basketball if fans were honest with themselves, which is the more physical era that we grew up watching. And now all of a sudden he says he wished that we could get back to that, which we all know is bullshit. This guy flops all over the place. Matter of fact, later on, I didn't want to play the entire clip because I didn't want to get any, copyright issues. But later on in the longer 7.5 minute clip, Steve Nash talks about how playing more physical basketball helps to rot out and weed out the floppers. I know LeBron got kind of quiet on that one. Yeah, because you talking about your ass, flopper. Look, when you listen to what LeBron is saying here, right, and when you really just wiggle around his BS, what they're kind of saying is the regular season is bullshit. As we said before, it's fluff basketball. Because I think most of us would agree that the product is so much better now in the postseason than it is during the regular season. This fluff basketball is why he has been able to extend his career in the manner that he's been able to do so over the past. I mean, the game really started changing 10 years ago, but the first seeds of it were 2 years into LeBron James' career when they got rid of hand checking totally, which, if you notice in the postseason, they brought it back some. But, that's what that's why they made these rule changes, because these players partially want to extend their careers as long as possible and make as much money as possible, and to try to browbeat us into accepting this diluted and inferior product of basketball. That's what it is, And then also, this confirms even further that LeBron James just ain't built for the basketball that we grew up watching in the 90s and 2000s, because he's always complaining. I mean, this is the player empowerment era. And they've done so many things to cater to the NBA players. These guys make more money. I mean, even including inflation. These guys make more money. Yeah, true, the owners make way more money. But proportionally, these guys make more money and have more pathways for making money than any other generation could even dream of, right? These guys have their own personal flights. These guys get catered to. They have chefs and they have sleep experts that show them how to sleep better, and they get catered to in so many ways. They get the most beautiful women in the world, even though now in today's world, you got to move a lot smarter with that, right? But they get the most beautiful women in the world. NBA players are now introduced into the bourgeois elite, celebrity world, that hierarchy. As far as the game is concerned, the schedule has been stretched out. The All-Star week end is now an entire week. The physicality, for the most part, has been taken out of the game. They have a freedom of movement rule, which basically means that defenders can't impede the players' progress, really, when they're going into their offensive sets or move sets, whatever. The game is, they have so many things catered to them, and yet they still complain. They have fewer back-to-backs than ever before. And then you have Aaron Gordon, who I really admired the way he played the game, and he was so huge for the Nuggets in their playoff run this year. It really miffed me when he complained about there need to be more games spaced out in the playoffs. Like, damn, y'all don't even play back-to-back playoff games no more. I mean, what else do y'all need, man? Y'all complain all the fucking time. Damn, sometimes I hate to say it, man, but sometimes I do want to say to these motherfuckers, shut the fuck up and dribble. God damn. But you know what's funny? The WNBA players, right, can complain about money and everybody tell them to shut the fuck up. The WNBA players making like $90,000 a year. A big, huge contract is like $200,000 a year. If they complain about one little thing, everybody tell them shut the hell up. Even Draymond Green was salty with them, right? The fake Hall of Famer. So at the end of the day, man, LeBron, yeah, he didn't say a month break. I got to be fair on that one. But still, he's complaining. That's still complaining. Why do you need to have I mean, essentially, aren't you just getting rest? And if they did introduce that, uh, 10 to 15 games of the regular season, more physicality, all you would have done, LeBron James, is take most of some games off anyway. That would have been another excuse for him to take half them games off. He would have powered through the first. This is what he would have did. LeBron would have powered through the first 70 games of the NBA. You know how he do. And then, since they can still play 65 games and be eligible, I think, for awards, he would have missed the second half of the season with a fake injury. Like I said, congestive knee failure or some shit. And he would have sat out. That's what he would have done. So stop fronting, nigga. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.